that would I do this for the rest of my life? Would I live this pattern for the rest of my life? Have you become all you can be, or is there more that you can be? Hello and welcome to the inaugural series and this first episode of our Sense in Nonsense broadcast. Sense in Nonsense, Sino, is designed to showcase stories of individuals' seemingly nonsense experiences that they've been able to get back up again from, and to showcase how they did it to the extent that when they look back, they can see the sense in it. You know, you can't say the word nonsense without saying sense. It reminds me of what Steve Jobs describes as connecting the dots. But you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. It's to help people to know that the nonsense that may be going on in their lives right now, that it's possible for them also to get back up. And whilst they may not see the dots right now, they can get up to the point where they can see the dots looking back. So today, my task is a simple one. How so, I hear you ask? Because I was where some of you are, to the extent that I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to do and for where I am in my life right now. Although I'm not quite where I'd like to be, I thank God that I'm a far cry from where I used to be. And that could be your testimony too. In fact, a lot of you should make it your objective to move the needle of where you are to where you're called to be. Because you see, where you are and where you find yourself do not have to be a destination or merely a pit stop in this your journey of life. It's possible for you to do more, be more, have more. You see, I was at a certain point in my life where I became disillusioned. All I was doing was I was going to work back home, and then maybe at the weekend I would go out. And come the next week, it would be the same thing again. Until one day it dawned on me that would I do this for the rest of my life? Would I live this pattern for the rest of my life? And at some stage, maybe get the gold watch, or if I was lucky, I'll get a golden handshake, and if I was really unlucky, maybe get fired. What next? I had to turn things around. I had to go on a quest of discovery. Was there more to life than I was living? I came across a story by one of my mentors, Les Brown, who said he went with a friend of his to go visit the friend's grandmother in hospital. And whilst they were there, she asked the friend a question. She asked him, did he know his grandfather's father? And of course the friend said no. Her response was very poignant and had a dramatic effect on him, and on me too, I must say. She told him that the reason why he didn't know his grandfather's father was because he hadn't done anything to be remembered by. He hadn't lived a life of significance to be remembered by. So Les Brown said at that moment in time, he thought, was that going to be my story? In fact, it affected me as well, because I thought, I don't want that to be my story. When I die, on my tombstone, what's going to be there? My name, my date of birth, a dash, and the date of my death. That dash would represent my life, the life that I lived. Would it be one of significance, or would it be one of regret? There must be more to life, I thought. With that, I embarked upon a quest to find out about this more from life, the more than I was living. I mean, it was Jesus Christ that said he came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Except if he was lying, I wanted that abundant life that Jesus Christ was referring to. So it didn't make any sense for me to leave certainty for uncertainty. Some people would say I had a decent job. I had a good job and a decent wage. But was that all there was to life? I had to go on a quest. I had to go and find out about this more that there was from life. Is there more? So, that leads me to ask you, is there more to life than you're currently living? Some of you may answer that in the affirmative. Have you become all you can be, or is there more that you can be? If you have, that's fine. And if you don't believe that you can be more, you can switch off this broadcast. That's totally fine too. But if you believe that you can be more and you can do more, I'll be glad to share with you some of the things that I found out along the way. That's why my task is simple. What I found out is that it's possible for you to live a life filled with more. It's possible for you to live a life of your calling. It's possible for you to do more, be more, and have more. It's possible for you to be who you've always dreamt of being. It's possible that you're not just a product of your circumstances, your surroundings, or your history. Rather than you become a product of your belonging, you can become a product of your becoming, and thereby make it the me that I see is the me that I become. So regardless of your circumstances, some people have taken it to be an excuse that they were born in a certain country, that the color of their skin, as a result of their age, their sex, and because of circumstances, that's why they are who they are. I can tell you today that it's not what happens to you in life, but what you do about what happens to you in life that determines your destiny. Some people are living a life of excuses. And talking about excuses, I remember a speech that I heard Barack Obama when he was reciting what was on the Morehouse fraternity wall, which goes, "Excuses are tools of the incompetent, used to build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothing." Are you living your life by giving excuses of what you can't do? All I ask of you is to only believe that it's possible. You know how I know? Because I found out that there was this stubborn individual that came out in 1954. Before 1954, it was believed that man could not run a mile under 4 minutes. That was until this stubborn guy called Roger Bannister came along, and he smashed that myth, and he ran the mile under 4 minutes. And you know what's more amazing? Since then, thousands of women, men, children have run the mile under 4 minutes. What changed? They believed that it was possible. Because that stubborn individual had done it, they could do it also. I also learned about another stubborn individual who, along with his team, developed the 2-stroke engine. Since then, the 3-stroke, 4-stroke, 5, 6-stroke engines have been developed because Henry Ford dared to believe. Henry Ford actually went further to say that if you believe, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. So if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. So my question to you is, what do you believe? I ask you, do you believe you can, or do you believe that you can't? It was Jesus that said all things are possible to them that believe. My question to you is, who are you today, and who or what would you like to become? So until we come your way again, today's episode is brought to you by Motispire, and I'm your host Jacob Shomoy, the Enabler, leaving you with one thought: only believe that it's possible and that you can.